What do you make of all of this? Do you think there's an ulterior motive from Deontay Wilder, or do you think he genuinely wants to get his belts back?
I don't think it's anything to do with Wilder. I don't think Wilder's a problem. I think he's had a contract. You know, he thought the third fight was happening. It's not happened, and he's forced his obligation. So, and he wants it, doesn't he? So that's it. I think the way it's all been handled has been a fiasco anyway.
Yeah.
You know, it's not good for boxing. But that's me on the outside looking in. I don't really know what's happened. I can only speculate. But whatever it is, you know, you're making unified world title fights when you've got a fucking arbitration going on. So it's like, you know, how can you say what's going to happen when a judge can determine your future? It's like me saying when I went up to court years ago, I was facing 10 or 20 years in prison, you know, I was booking holiday. You know, I'll go and have an holiday for a couple of months. You know, that never happened. You know, what's that Monopoly board where you miss and you go to jail, you know, and that's it. So I never booked no holiday. No, it's idiot proof, isn't it? Why would you do all that knowing you've got all this? So it's wasted a colossal amount of time. So I don't know. It's bizarre. It's bizarre what's happened, but like I said, it'll all pan itself out. You know, Wilder will get his fight, they'll fight, which will be a good fight as well. It's not what people's thinking it's going to be. That'll be a good fight again, and we'll see Joshua in another good fight with Usyk. So I think in the end it'll work out better for the fans anyway, because they've got, instead of one fight for the unification, there's two good fights coming. So in the end of the year, if they do come through them fights, the next fight will be even bigger, won't it?
Wow, Tyson Fury's very own uncle calls the negotiations for Joshua Fury, knowing they had an arbitration with Wilder, bizarre, and rules the whole process a fiasco. Doesn't even blame Wilder, says, you know, the whole thing didn't make sense from the beginning, and Wilder's just getting what he was due. And he shows some optimism. We're going to talk about all that and more in this video. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest. Now, make sure you guys click the like button. Also subscribe, set up TUBEBUDDY, use the link in the description. TUBEBUDDY is an awesome way to take your YouTube channel to the next level. Now, you have former trainer of Tyson Fury and family member, relative, Peter Fury. I played the clip, link in the description. He was talking a whole lot of sense. And he was saying the whole fiasco with Tyson Fury, his nephew, and Wilder and Joshua Fury being announced during the Wilder arbitration was bizarre. And it was a total mess and fiasco. Ego Stradamus strikes again. And ironically enough, a lot of what Peter Fury said was very dead on and eerily similar to what I've told you. Like there's a part in the clip, you guys listen, if you listen again, rewind it if you need. He says, when I was facing court cases and I was facing 20 years in prison, you know, if convicted, he says I wasn't planning my next holiday, which is basically a vacation. He said there was no vacation planning or holiday planning during that whole time. Ironically enough, before the arbitration verdict came out from the Honorable Judge Weinstein, I had a very similar statement. And if you guys, if you know, you know, if you follow the channel, you'll remember. I said, why is Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury and his team doing videos and saying the fight is done, knowing that the elephant in the room is Wilder? And the analogy I used, I said that's like O.J. Simpson on Sunday making a video talking about he's going to start a podcast. And I said go on vacation to the Bahamas or Jamaica, knowing that Judge Ito and the jury are going to render a verdict on Monday. It wouldn't make sense. The video is still up on my page. Ironically enough, you have Tyson Fury's own blood saying exactly the same thing. It makes little to no sense to have ignored the whole time Deontay Wilder. Now, I understand gag orders and non-disclosures, so there might have been something where you couldn't speak heavily on the proceedings and what was going on and what happened in depositions and things like that. But you could still address, hey, I'm in court with Wilder. I can't say too much, but we'll see how it goes. but instead they chose to do it the foolish manner, which I called out from the beginning, and now old media looks crazy. Eddie Hearn is seemingly went into hiding. It's now a blame game, another thing the great Ego Stradamus predicted, and now you have Tyson Fury's own family members agreeing basically and saying the whole thing was a fiasco. And another thing he said that was very similar to what I told you is people are acting like this is horrific news and stuff like that because it shakes things up. And you even had The Athletic that called Wilder winning the arbitration, quote, a dark day for boxing, and said that, quote, Wilder put a monkey wrench in the plans, right? Dark day and monkey wrench, and these phrases and terminology to describe what a black fighter was awarded after months and, presumably lots of money was spent arguing his side. And what was always noted to be the case contractually, that they were going to close out and do a 2-fight series because they already had 1 fight, completing a trilogy. So it's ironic that you have a lot of people who are acting like this is the worst thing, the worst news ever. But Peter Fury says exactly what I told you in terms of now you have Joshua being ordered to fight Usyk. Eddie Hearn, I made a video about it. Eddie Hearn got denied an extension, so they have to pretty much negotiate or Joshua has to vacate. And then you have Wilder Fury 3. He even says, I don't think it's going to be the fight some people think. I think it'll be a good fight, which would only in turn make an undisputed fight. Whoever wins those fights, if they were to fight in the future, it would only make him bigger. But for whatever reason, old media was hell-bent on trying to force the issue, even though it defied logic and didn't really make sense to be planning the next step when you haven't even gotten past the arbitration decision. Very foolish stuff. The people involved look very foolish. Bob Arum is doing recent interviews talking about the announcement of Pacquiao Spence after he claimed that Pacquiao and Crawford was going to happen in Abu Dhabi. That looks horrible, because Pacquiao chose Errol Spence for the Pacquiao sweepstakes. And then another failed Top Rank and Eddie Hearn brainchild, Joshua Fury, also not happening. Very bad look. Let me know what you guys think. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. If you love what I'm doing, support in the multiple ways we working. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We working.